Hey everybody, Aaron and Dorf here. Got our new famous recruit here who's a couple of months into his career at MMT. We're going to talk to Dorf about something today that he has a wealth of knowledge about, and that's psychological pain. And he's going to discuss today how psychological healing can basically be quite similar to physical healing now that he's a few months into his career as a hands-on bodyworker. Yeah. So I guess talk to me about what similarities you can see between the two.
So something I didn't really expect, but when we look at psychological trauma or pain, you're going in and you're looking at a complex. The psychoanalytic psychologists, they call it a complex, which is just basically just a thought pattern that's bouncing around from one thing to the next, and it might be a little bit dysfunctional. So it's just a pattern of behaviour, pattern of thinking, and as a healer, you go in there and you try and tease it out. You might, you want to put some movement in there and shake it up, psychologically speaking. So you might want to give someone alternate perspectives, philosophical ideas, challenge their beliefs a little bit, push them to their boundaries maybe, but go as far as they can and kind of help them change that perspective, change that complex so they're in better flow and better overall function. And that, as I've been doing body work, I've been realizing that it's exactly the same principle with the body. So we go in and there's a physical dysfunction. It might be knotting or something that's just not aligned properly, and we're going into that area, we're bringing flow, we're bringing light in exactly the same way.
From a perspective of hands-on though, isn't it? Bodywork instead of like kind of, I guess, more...
But the principle is exactly the same, so we go in there and try and realign things and change what's happening to the better. And change can be painful.
Yeah, exactly.
And it can be challenging, but that's all part of the healing process, and it's a very individual process. So it's about kind of respecting people's boundaries and seeing what they can do and how far they can go.
I think an interesting thing you said before was, we kind of both spoke about, was the fact that, say you're a psychoanalyst or a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it may be, if you're dealing with a person with a complex, a chronic complex that's been in there for so long, you're not necessarily going to go in there and just bang it out and smash it, like some kind of massage therapist or physical therapist might do.
Exactly.
With the body, you're going to go in there and just kind of, care for them, challenge them at times, but be there for support to kind of unwind that complex and get them thinking in a different pattern, like you said.
Exactly right. So, if you go in and bang, you hit someone really hard in a place where they're vulnerable, they're going to block, they're going to guard, and ultimately you're not going to make change. It's exactly the same with psychology.
So with our stuff here that we do is you're challenging them because the treatment is tough, but you're also supporting them and going so slow and going at their pace to unravel that physical block, just like you would with a psychological complex or block.
And healing in general can be emotional, and a lot of these things are related. That's what makes it so interesting. The physical body is connected to the mind.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fascia, which is what we work into, it's an organ, it's an emotional organ, an emotional system, just like the brain. So,
and you can even bring in emotional stuff to that, and spiritual, even if you want to take it into that sort of area. So it's all these different layers that are kind of stacked on top of each other, but ultimately the ground floor is the physical body. Yeah. That's where it all starts.
Exactly.
So
the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, as old ninja would say, isn't it? So you can't just treat the body in isolation. It's one organism.
That's it. We're 100% physical body. We're 100% emotional body.
Everything.
Intellectual. It's all part of the picture. So it's a privilege.
It's cool.
Actually, it's cool. It's a privilege to work with the physical body and see it as a model for the rest of our makeup.
So if you are out there and want to connect with this man, this great man here, he has studied psychology, philosophy, engineering, and now bodywork, looking at the whole realm of things. He's still doing until the end of the year $50 treatments for an hour session. So if you want to come and you get 55 minutes of really solid deep tissue work with a guy who knows the whole spectrum, then book in, and he's available. Furniture. When are you here? Tuesday, Furniture Galley.
Yep.
Wednesday.
And weekends at Richmond.
Weekends in Richmond, and Wednesday Richmond, and Friday Richmond.
Yeah, probably going to be opening up more,
but yeah,
for a limited time only.
Limited time only. Thanks, guys. Ben.
Look at this. It's very stoic. Look, isn't it?
This is my dad.
What's his name?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to another session of Between Two Ferns. It's a beautiful moustache, isn't it?
Is it better than mine? Probably.
Yeah.
He's a good looking man.
Not as good as Jace's though. Are we rolling?